Hi, everybody.
Hello, I'm Ryan.
I'm Bethany.
And we are Ryan and Bethany Board Game Reviews.
And today we'll be talking about Kites. This is designed by Kevin Hamino, and it is published by Floodgate Games with artwork by Beth Sobel.
Let's go fly a kite up to, I don't know what's the words.
Up to the highest height.
That's what I figured. I didn't want to say it wrong.
Yeah,
and also I didn't want to hit a copyright infringement limit, you know.
Oh. How old is that movie?
I don't know, pretty old.
Okay.
All right, so in this game, we are trying to keep all these different kites in the air. Now, I have seen games that use a sand timer, right? Mm-hmm. But have you ever seen sand timers make up a game?
I have now.
Yes, Kites uses 6 different sand timers. They're all going down at different speeds, different paces. You have to keep them all up in the air. So by moving these sand timers and keeping them flowing, you're keeping the kites up in the air. All right, so let me give you a quick overview of how to play. All right, our setup for kites is actually very easy. We just set up these 6 different timers. The red one is the fastest timer, all the way down to the slowest timers on the end. We have our deck of cards, and they're basically going to have all different symbols on them that are the different timers that we're required to flip over. So we've got something like we have to flip over a yellow and a blue at this time, a red and an orange, maybe just a red by itself, whatever the case is. Based off the number of players, we're going to have that many cards in our hand. The goal is to get through this entire deck of cards without any of the sand timers run out of sand. They have to all be kind of flowing. So when we play a card, what we're going to do is we're going to flip the sand timers, matching those colors, in order to kind of keep sand flowing. All right, let's go ahead and flip these over and just see if we can play just a couple of cards to show you what it might look like. Now the one over here on the end, this is kind of a rainbow sand timer. What's going to happen is any card can be used to flip that over. All right, so let's go ahead and play this one. It requires us to flip the red and the orange. Those are some of the faster ones. We're going to draw our hand again. You know, let's just go ahead and do that again, just to kind of keep them in the air. All right, now let's do maybe a yellow and a blue. Redraw our hand. You always want to keep an eye on red, because it is the one that goes the fastest. So let's just go ahead and do our red one now. But if you forget about purple, it can kind of get away from you as well. As you can see, it can get kind of hectic. And also, I'm just playing by myself. If you had lots of players around the board at the same time, obviously things are going to get out of hand much quicker as you're kind of communicating, yelling, red's going to run out, red's going to run out, don't forget about purple, is anybody keeping an eye on the wild one? Or whatever the case is. And if you don't have the right card in your hand at the right time, you've got to go really fast with whatever cards you do have, so the next player in line can flip over the things they need to flip over. Once you are a little bit more familiar with the game, I encourage you to add in the challenge cards. All right, so this particular challenge card says your ropes are tied up together. So you have to pass a card from one player to another. This particular card says you can't talk for one whole round. This particular round says the storms are coming. When this is drawn, you have to say a storm is coming, and then on your next turn, when you play it, you flip over every single one of the timers. It basically completely resets the board based off of whatever you have going. That's all there is to the game. If any of the sand timers ever run out of sand, you have lost the game. But if you're able to get through the whole deck without any of the sand timers running out, what's going to happen is at that point, the white sand timer can no longer be used. Whatever it has left in it, that is your official game end timer. All the cards that are still left in our hands, we have to get rid of those as fast as possible, flipping the rest of the sand timers. And if you can get rid of all the cards from your hands before that white sand timer runs out, you and your team are declared the winners.
I personally really like in cooperative games where you have that fun stress, it's really tense in that moment, and this game had that in spades. None of my children can get hurt because I cannot help them while I'm playing this game because nothing else exists. I am so focused on what's happening between these sand timers that I cannot think about anything else. I am 100% invested in this game and only this game. It is really weird that it did that to me, but it's also really cool because you're just you're so focused on what's happening that nothing else is going on, and you're like, this card, orange, orange, orange. Yeah, it's just, it's good.
This game has its challenge cards that you can add in. Now, I would recommend playing with other challenge cards for your first game or two, especially when you're introducing it to new players. But then eventually what you want to do is you want to add in these challenge cards that can make the game more difficult. One of them, stops your communication for a round. That can be really important, like Bethany mentioned. If orange is ticking down and you're going to let the other players know about it, there's nothing you can do about it, so you just have to let them know. But if you're playing that card, you played that challenge card in front of you, which you're required to do, you can't talk for a full round. And then on top of that, there's another card that basically makes everyone trade a card around. So you have spend a card around the board, trade cards. which is kind of nice. You actually use it to your advantage, but at the same time, it takes time from away from these timers. When you can't focus on the timers, if you're focusing on the cards. And then the third one, it basically has a storm. The storm flips over all of the timers simultaneously. It's a big power play that can really change the game.
Power play by the game.
The game takes this power play and just like flips all the timers, reversing everything that you were going towards.
Yeah.
So you have to kind of time that out just right so it works, and not detrimentally.
Yeah.
So those challenge cards can be really, really exciting, but they're kind of tough. So you want to kind of ease people into them.
Yeah. Yeah, we play with all of them.
And we don't win a lot.
that's just how we roll. I thought that the fact that the sand timers emptied at different levels was really interesting because when you're playing the game, you're kind of just really focused on red and orange. You focus on those a lot, and then all of a sudden you realize purple is almost empty, and you're like, oh my gosh, somebody do purple. I forgot about purple. And not just that, but the white one is wild. So you're not, when you have your hand up,
there's no white card.
There's no white card, so you're not thinking about it until all of a sudden you need to think about it or you're going to lose. Not to say we've ever lost that way, ever, but it's really cool how that works because you're focused here, but you need to not just focus there. You need to focus here. You need to focus everywhere, but you can't focus everywhere. So it's just like a really, really simple thing to do to make them drop at different levels, but it did so much to the game.
One of the interesting things about this game is that it's got Beth Sobel art for one thing. We love Beth Sobel art in games. It's always like a feature of the game for us, right?
Yeah.
In this particular game, you don't even look at the cards. You're specifically looking at the top corner to see what, timers need to be flipped.
It's almost wasted.
Yeah, it's like, okay, red and green, or whatever it is. Is there even a green? There's not even a green. Red and orange, yellow and blue, whatever the case is. You're just throwing out cards and throwing out and yelling out colors, flipping stuff. You don't have the time to appreciate that. So it's a weird thing. It looks amazing, but it doesn't matter because you're just throwing cards.
Yeah. Overall, I loved this game. So we got a chance to play it at Geekway to the West this past year, and I remember it being like one of the 3 games. We played so many games that
you want to play a lot of games in a small amount of time?
Geekway
to the West.
Heck yeah.
I know lots of original, games. Lots of conventions have that kind of style of just open gaming, but it's a good one.
It is a really good one. It was a great time. And I remember like thinking about it and talking about it. It was probably one of the games I was talking about on the way home because I just like really enjoyed it. And then when we were able to get it at Gen Con, I was just super excited because I really, really, really enjoyed this game. So much so, I'm a little confused. And let me tell you why. Because the box says this game was published in 2023 because I enjoyed this so much that it would definitely end up at a top 10 of the year for me. Except on Board Game Geek it says 2022. So I don't know what to do with that. So if it is a 2023 game, it will definitely be in my top 10. That is how much I enjoyed this really simple, straightforward cooperative game.
Or a retroactive top 10 last year.
Yeah, if we ever like go back and like update, yes.
I love real-time games, and this did kind of a unique thing with these sand timers. It was stressful, it was tense all the way through. You were engaged, you were invested, and I like that level of just focus that you have.
Yeah.
It's really, really fun. It's challenging, but man, you are locked in and you are going, and it is tense. The adrenaline's pumping in this game. It's a game about kites, but you're like, whoa, whoa,
That's how I am when I'm flying kites.
I think that what a cute design, what a clever design. It doesn't overstay its welcome. It's fast, and it looks super cool too. And it's unique. I don't see a game having done this before.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Everybody, thank you so much for watching it. Don't forget to subscribe so you can see our videos as they come out. Until then, you can find us in all of these places.
You guys, thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.
Bye.
You guys, thanks so much for watching. This game was provided to us by a publisher in exchange for a fair and honest review.
And if you want to see more stuff, check out over here to see something we think you might like.
And over here, we think that YouTube has picked out a great video for you you're going to love. Thanks, guys. We'll see you next time.
Bye.